So when it comes to Death of a Unicorn, Jenna Ortega does the best with what is offered, but when it comes to everybody else, a lot of Death of a Unicorn is very hit or miss. So to summarize the film, Ridley, to try to help present a united front with her father Elliot, goes with him to meet his dying employer Odell, who plans to bestow upon him a lucrative opportunity to allow Elliot to be a trustee in regards to the pharmaceutical company that he owns. Things don't go well on the way to Odell's house, first and foremost because Ridley and Elliot are a bit estranged, especially after Ridley's mother died, and then on top of that, Elliot hits a unicorn. Now, to add another layer of complication to all this, Odell's family lives deep in a forest that's a wildlife preservation or something like that. So this unicorn is some special kind of thing, and unbeknownst to them at the beginning of the movie, there's more than one of them. But with hitting the unicorn, naturally Elliot, Ridley check on it. Ridley decides to touch the unicorn's horn. She has a moment in a vision, while Elliot decides to bash the thing's head in to try to finally kill it. They put it in the car. They don't know that unicorn blood is very healing, so eventually that thing comes back to life. And they spend most of the movie either Elliot trying to get this deal on paperwork, Ridley warning her father about what's going on in the car as the unicorn comes back to life, or the other unicorns turning this into what eventually becomes a Grimm's fairy tale. So, in terms of review section, the main highlight is if you like something gruesome and gory, this gives you a lot to chew on because Death of a Unicorn is a violent movie. From Elliot bashing that unicorn's head in, gun violence, people being ripped apart, partially eaten, and more. If there's one undisputable thing that this movie delivers in, it is giving those who like a dash of violence and gore in their movies a fix. But unfortunately, beyond that, it's a very hit and miss movie. Jenna Ortega does far more than should be expected considering the script and her character in terms of giving some type of emotional element to people dying, her father being someone who is willing to bend over backwards for Odell, even compromise his morality for the sake of trying to provide his daughter a better life, or at least financial security, while toward the end finally getting that his daughter would rather have him alive and poor than potentially compromised and still being a terrible dad. And with that, Ortega is able to give a lot as a character. But when it comes to everybody else, whether you want to talk about the dramatic side or comedy side, most of the time they fall flat. Now, I will say when it comes to Will Porter and Anthony Carrigan, they do have comedic moments that will make you laugh. But unfortunately, it's not always consistent, and there's a lot of moments in Death of a Unicorn where people will make a joke or have a funny moment. You can see there's a little beat given to have people laugh, yet there's no reason to make an audible sound. There's no reason to even crack a smile. It just is a terrible joke that really goes nowhere. And unfortunately, that happens way too often in this film. Hence why, overall, we're very mixed about this movie. Yes, there's some bias because we are a fan of Jenna Ortega, and maybe we're over valuing her performance, but I do generally feel like she does her best to compensate for a lot of the failings of this movie. And as much as Porter and Carrigan give some kind of laughter, and we also get a good amount of violence if that's something that you're into, Death of a Unicorn is not really the type of movie which demands you to see it in theaters opening weekend and not just wait till it comes on a streaming platform as it likely is going to.